5, which is just the research of marketing data. And overall, what it is you just want to find the problem in the data so you can better market your product. So there's 5 basic steps in the research of marketing. The first step is defining the issue. The second step is designing the research. Third step, collecting the data. Fourth step, interpreting research findings. And last step, reporting research findings.
The first step of marketing research is locating and defining a problem. All businesses have objectives they try to achieve, but what happens when they don't reach their goals? The corporation needs to take a deep dive into analyzing exactly why they didn't reach their target. Let's take NMU for example. Hypothetically, let's say our admissions office plans to enroll 1,000 new students next fall. Unfortunately, the total number of students was only 750. This allows them to target and locate an issue and begin the marketing research process.
There are 2 main types of research: exploratory, which is used to gather more information about a problem and is based on qualitative data. The second is conclusive, which offers insights to help reach marketing decisions and is based on quantitative data.
Next up, we have designing the research project, which is a plan for obtaining the information needed to address a problem with the research. And this step requires coming up with a hypothesis and determining what type of research is most appropriate for testing the hypothesis to make sure the results are accurate. And this step has 3 parts: product attractiveness, purchase intention, and brand awareness. For example, NMU's product attractiveness is the location here in Marquette and all the scenic opportunities it provides for students, like this advertisement where they show kayaking. Its purchase intention is the college education it provides for students, and with those 2 combined, you have the brand awareness.
Without collecting data, marketing research cannot be conducted. The 2 types of data are primary data and secondary data. Primary data is collected from respondents in the form of sampling, surveys, observations, and experimentation. Secondary data is found from outside or internal sources for a different purpose in the research at hand. This is found in the organizational database and other online databases. NMU uses data to track enrollment rates. The primary data for this would be the data that Northern takes in with enrollment. The secondary data would be the federal data on national enrollment rates.
So, the next part is interpreting research findings. So, interpreting these findings is one of the top marketing challenges, right? So, when you're interpreting them, you want to find and draw conclusions. But you're left with a whole bunch of numbers. And so what that leaves you with is statistical overview, working with things like deviations, and finding certain parts of that data that may stand out or tell you something more or cause you to ask more questions. So when you're working with this, you want to take these numbers, find those findings, and then turn them into something digestible, like a graph or some sort of report that you can disperse to a larger organization. In this example with NMU, they may have a bunch of numbers and percentages when it comes to their enrollment, and not only from their data, but also from the secondary data. And they're gonna wanna turn that into some sort of report or some sort of easy way to disperse it, like I said before, like a graph, along with text giving context and maybe different deviations they found within it.
Once the research results are interpreted, a report must be prepared. This is the 5th and final step of the process. Marketers and decision makers use these results to solve the original issue defined at the beginning of the research process. Avoiding bias and emotion in the reports ensures that the results can be applied properly to the issues at hand.